Jack Nicholson, born John Joseph Nicholson on April 22, 1937, in Neptune City, New Jersey, entered the world with a personal story as layered as any character he would later portray. For most of his early life, he believed his grandmother was his mother and that his actual mother was his sister, a truth he wouldn't discover until adulthood. That family secret could have been lifted from a Hollywood screenplay, and in many ways, it foreshadowed the complexity and depth Nicholson would bring to his craft. Raised in a working-class home, Nicholson gravitated toward performance and storytelling almost instinctively. His first steps into Hollywood were modest, working as a gopher at MGM's cartoon studio, running errands in hopes of inching closer to the world of entertainment. His climb was far from glamorous. By the late 1950s, he was landing small roles in Roger Corman's low-budget B movies. These early films didn't bring fame, but they provided training, discipline, and the resilience that Nicholson would rely on throughout his career. The turning point came in 1969 with Easy Rider. Playing George Hanson, a hard-drinking lawyer, Nicholson delivered a performance that earned his first Oscar nomination and launched him into the spotlight. From there, the 1970s cemented his reputation as one of Hollywood's boldest talents. In Five Easy Pieces, 1970, he embodied a man consumed by alienation and discontent. In The Last Detail, 1973, he blended raw humor with heartbreaking vulnerability. Then came One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, 1975. As Randall McMurphy, Nicholson gave what many consider one of the greatest performances in film history, capturing the rebellious spirit of the decade and winning his first Academy Award for Best Actor. His on-screen battle with Nurse Ratched became an enduring symbol of defiance. The 1980s only expanded his legend. In 1980, under Stanley Kubrick's direction, Nicholson became Jack Torrance in The Shining. His chilling descent into madness, punctuated by the unforgettable line, "Here's Johnny," bogey seared itself into popular culture. Just 3 years later, in terms of endearment, 1983, he surprised audiences with warmth and humor as retired astronaut Garrett Breedlove, a role that earned him another Oscar and proved he could move people with tenderness as much as terror. In 1989, he gave the Joker a flamboyant, sinister spin in Tim Burton's Batman, setting a new standard for cinematic villains. The 1990s showed Nicholson's continued range. In A Few Good Men, 1992, his Colonel Nathan Jessup delivered the thunderous line, "You can't handle the truth," a moment etched into movie history. That same year, he tackled the role of labor leader Jimmy Hoffa in Hoffa, bringing both grit and gravity. In Mars Attacks, 1996, he parodied his own image in a sci-fi comedy that showcased his willingness to poke fun at himself. Then, in As Good as It Gets, 1997, Nicholson delivered one of his finest performances as Melvin Udall, a misanthropic writer battling obsessive-compulsive disorder. His ability to balance cruelty with vulnerability won him another Academy Award for Best Actor, proving his mastery well into his 50s. He continued to surprise into the new millennium. In About Schmidt, 2002, Nicholson shed his trademark bravado, portraying a lonely widower in a restrained, heartbreaking performance critics hailed as some of his best work. Just a year later, in Anger Management, 2003, he unleashed his comic energy as the eccentric therapist Dr. Buddy Rydell, opposite Adam Sandler. By 2006, he had returned to villainy with terrifying force as mob boss Frank Costello in Martin Scorsese's The Departed. His unpredictability electrified every scene, earning him a Golden Globe nomination. He followed in 2007 with The Bucket List, co-starring Morgan Freeman. As Edward Cole, a guarded billionaire facing mortality, Nicholson delivered a performance that balanced wit, sorrow, and reflection, inspiring audiences worldwide to live with courage and purpose. Nicholson's personal life was just as vivid. He married actress Sandra Knight in 1962, and they welcomed daughter Jennifer Nicholson in 1963 before divorcing in 1968. Jennifer later pursued a career in fashion design. Nicholson never married again, but he was famously linked to several women over the decades. His romance with Angelica Houston began in 1973 and stretched across 17 tumultuous years, marked by passion, volatility, and enduring admiration. He also fathered children with other partners, including daughter Honey Hallman with Danish model Winnie Hallman, and 2 more children with actress Rebecca Broussard, Lorraine, born 1990, and Raymond, born 1992. Both Lorraine and Raymond would eventually step into acting themselves. Now, at 88, Nicholson looks back with the perspective only time can give. In a rare, candid moment, he spoke openly about his late friend Robin Williams, words laced with both reverence and sorrow. Robin was like lightning in a bottle, Nicholson reflected. You never knew where he'd go, but you always knew it would be brilliant. Nicholson recalled how Williams's presence could transform any room. He could turn silence into roaring laughter in seconds. I don't think the world will ever see that kind of raw magic again. But beyond the comedy, Nicholson emphasized the depth of his friend. People saw the whirlwind, but Robin was one of the most thoughtful men I ever knew. He felt things deeply, maybe too deeply. That was both his gift and his burden. He remembered the tenderness in Williams's eyes, even when he was making others laugh until their sides ached. Despite their different styles, Nicholson with his sly grin and dangerous charisma, Williams with his boundless improvisation, the two shared profound respect. Robin had this generosity of spirit, Nicholson said quietly. He gave everything, on stage, on film, or just sitting across from you as a friend. That's what I'll always remember. He wasn't just funny, he was extraordinary. The loss of Williams in 2014 shook Nicholson deeply. When Robin left us, it was like a light went out in the world. I remember hearing the news and just sitting there, unable to believe it. It seemed impossible that someone who gave so much life could be gone. Nicholson admitted the tragedy reminded him of the fragility even in the brightest spirits. We think these people are larger than life, but they're human, just like the rest of us. And sometimes being human is the hardest thing. By opening up, Nicholson gave the world not just a portrait of Robin Williams the entertainer, but Robin Williams the man, a soul marked by brilliance, generosity, and quiet vulnerability. As Nicholson moves into the twilight of his own extraordinary career, his words stand as both a tribute to a lost friend and a reminder of the rare bond 2 Hollywood giants once shared, one built on respect, sincerity, and a deep understanding that behind the laughter lies the truth of being human.